because now we're going to go into graphing inequalities. So when I graph an inequality, I am going to be shading above the line, below the line, just depends on which direction. When I graph an inequality, what I want to do is first of all pretend there's an equal in there. I'm going to graph the line y equals -5. Now way back in chapter 2 we did graphing. To graph the line y equals -5, we said, okay, right here, y is equal to -5. We hopefully know that should go horizontal, because if I made a table, all of my y values are -5 and my x values could be whatever I wanted them to be. So if I plot some of those points in there, they'd all line up straight, but we don't really have to make that table if we just remember it's a horizontal line. So the line y equals -5 is that horizontal line going right there through -5. However, we don't want y to be equal to -5. We want y to be less than -5. So if we have the equal to bar underneath, the line stays solid like we drew it. However, if we don't have the equal to bar underneath, we've got to use this cute little tool that changes our line from a solid line to a dashed line. Because we don't really want to be equal to that -5. We just want that to be our starting point. So when you click on the tool and you click on your line, it's going to make it dotted. I'm just going to, clear it out a little bit so it looks like a dotted line. So I know that I have a dashed line. Now I'm going to do my shading. Y is less than -5. Well, thinking about my y-axis, as I go up, they get bigger. As I go down, they get smaller. So you're going to have a little tool that sort of looks like this with a whole bunch of dots. When you click on that, you're going to click anywhere below that line, and it's going to fill in that whole section with a whole bunch of little dots. And that's what your graph is going to look like. You're shading all the numbers where the y values are all less than -5. Number 6, we're graphing the inequality that says x is greater than or equal to -2. So again, if we start off with the line x equals -2, x equals -2 would be right here, but we have to know that this line is going to go vertical. So it's going to go up and down, and I'm going to connect my dots and draw my line. Oops, didn't draw very straight at the end, but Alex makes you draw straight. Now this one does have the equal to bar. That's what that solid line means. Where is the line x equals -2? We have that. We want to shade where x is greater than -2. So if I'm thinking about my x-axis, the bigger numbers go to the right, the smaller numbers go to the left. So when I click my shading tool, it'll just shade that whole thing in there for you, but you're going to end up with a whole lot of dots over there to the right of x equals -2. Number 7, we are doing x is less than 1 then. So x is less than 1 again. You need the dashed line because you don't have the equal to bar. You have to draw it solid. X equals 1 would be right here. You draw it solid, but then use our little tool to change it to a dashed line. And then again on this one I'm doing less than 1, so I want to shade all the numbers that have an x value that's less than 1. So those would be all the numbers to the left. And so you click with your tool over to the left and it's going to fill that whole section in with a whole bunch of little dots.